Pukekohe Park played host to the penultimate round of the Motul Honda Cup at the weekend. As always, the racing was close and saw multiple winners across the three races, setting up a great title fight for the finale next month. But before we catch up with our winners, let's hear from one of our newest racers, Rudy as he shows us around his car.
Well, I'm with Rudy today from Honda Cup. Rudy, first off, I know you're new to the country and everything, but tell us how to pronounce your second name so we always get it correct.
It's Gronstrom. It's something nobody can say. They always pronounce it wrong.
So did you do some racing in South Africa before you came
Yes, I started doing motor racing when I was 12.
Yeah.
I started doing overtrack.
Yeah.
And that's where I started. And about on my second year, I won my first championship. And we decided we're going to move over to circuit racing. And I started racing in a series called Super Hatch. And had really good success there. And yeah, about a year and a half ago, we decided we're going to move to New Zealand. And we started something new, yeah.
Yeah, and why did you choose Honda Cup?
We really liked the Hondas.
Was that what you raced in South Africa?
No, we raced a Golf, Mark 1. When we came here, we just looked at all the series and like the Honda Cup really looked like something we want to be part of.
Yeah.
And yeah, we chose, we're going to get a Honda.
So we're doing me and my car today.
Yep.
Now your car is not an anybody's car, you built it. Tell us a little bit about where you started with this, because the DC5s, it's often quite a challenging car to make go fast on a racetrack, right?
Yes, it is. As it is, it's standard. There's no changes we really did. We bought the car. All we did was putting the roll cage, doing some small changes. We changed the gearbox, things like that. The car's pretty standard, still has the aircon in it, and yeah.
Yep, okay. Let's pop the engine, let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
So this is a K20, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
This is the K20.
So you're running N1, so you haven't done anything specific to the internals of this engine
yet?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yet.
No.
What was your plan to do in the future with it?
We're going to put in a new engine. We're going to go for the K24.
Yep.
And yeah, we're looking to move up to H4.
Yep.
And yeah.
What, pretty quickly? Or?
Yeah, we want to go better because this is the Integra S engine.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And we can't really do much changes on it to get more power.
So what sort of power is this thing putting out then?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, not a lot.
Not a lot. Yeah. Still standard.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
So the K24 should give you what, 180, 185 kilowatts,
give me
something
a lot
like
more. Yeah. Because we need to get the Integra R in. Yeah. And yes, the S. Because in the R we can make a lot of changes doing the cams and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when you raced in South Africa, did you race on slicks?
We raced on semi-slicks.
Right. So how are you finding the Hankook slick? Because it's a pretty good slick for a club racing car.
Yeah. It's something different. I had to get used to it. A lot more grip. You have to warm up the tires before you push hard because the car can just slide and release, and it's something different where the semi-slicks, as you get off on the track, you have instantly grip. And with the semis we could have raced in the rain, where with the slicks you have to change the whole time. Yeah.
And so you've raced so far Hampton Downs long track?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, and Pukekohe.
And Pukekohe. Manfield?
No.
You haven't done Manfield yet. So what do you think of the New Zealand circuit so far?
It's really fun. I really enjoyed Hampton Downs. It's a really big circuit, something different. But yeah, I like Pukekohe as well. I like a track that's really small. Yeah. Yeah, and to be on the limit, it's really fun.
So how are you finding racing against some of these other blokes? They've got quite a lot of experience in Hondas, eh?
Yeah, it's really fun. We just want to get the car quicker to get in front there, battling out with them. That's what we are here for. But at the moment we're just enjoying it and getting the car ready for next season.
And how's this week? We're 2 races down for this weekend so far.
Yep.
How's it gone for you?
The first race didn't go really good, but all we did was want to finish. And I think we finished like last in the class. We don't really have much power. And
so it's an N1 car, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then in the second race I started P1 in one and finished P2.
Have you saved your new tyres for the handicap race then?
No.
Yeah, that's a trick you'll learn.
Yeah.
So generally when we talk about the cars and everything, we like to thank, if you've got any individual sponsors, we know Motul and Speed Science are on board with it all, but what about you? Who helps fund your racing?
Just my father and my mother.
Bank of mum and dad then?
Yeah, my parents.
Well, you should say
really
thanks to the bank of mum and dad.
Yeah,
Then.
really big thanks to my parents. If it wasn't for them, this wouldn't be possible.
Now let's hear from our 3 race winners from the weekend: Chris Hughes, Greg Spark and Mark Alley.
Sunday morning here, just give us a quick recap on yesterday. Very fast in qualifying and a race 1 win yesterday.
Yeah, car went really well yesterday. Put the new fronts on for qualifying and actually had to come in and see what everyone else had done and go out and have another go at it. But yeah, dipped into the 12s, which I was really happy with. It's just so important starting from the front row here. So, and then yeah, the rolling start went well and held off Brent and Steve through the first couple of corners and then got a bit of a gap and managed that to the end pretty much. Brent was coming on pretty strong and punching in some quick lap times, so I couldn't take it too easy. But no, it went really well, and I was really happy with it.
So that was good for your championship challenge, because it looks like it's kind of settling down in the last few races to be you versus Greg. Now, Greg had a bit of a weight penalty this morning, but managed to get through the traffic on the reverse top 10 pretty quickly. Did you think it was on to catch him and win?
Not initially. I got into the second place there and sort of looked up and he had quite a gap there, so I was already sort of thinking about the handicap timings but then I looked at my timing and I'd already done a quick lap time in lap 2, so I just kept my head down and just kept punching in the laps, and about sort of halfway through the race he just suddenly started coming back to me a bit more. So I just kept on it, and then a couple of back markers there in the last lap as well gave me a bit of a sniff, and yeah, we got really close. I think it was 0.03 or something. Yeah, so it was fun. So we're giving each other a few hand gestures around the rest of the circuit afterwards. So no, it was awesome fun. Yeah.
All right, with Greg Spark, winner of race 2, which is the classic old reverse top 10. Greg. Now, Greg, you won that by how much?
Just under 400ths of a second.
Now, my take on that race was you managed to get past Martin pretty early. Martin had a lot of straight line speed in that car, and you can thank Martin's straight line speed for holding up the opposition for a while, right?
I already have done that, yeah. Yeah, I knew that I had to get past the slower guys in front of me in that reverse top 10 to have any chance at all, and once I'd done that, I knew that Martin and a couple of the others would probably hold the other guys up, and that's exactly how it panned out. But I set my fastest lap, in fact my fastest lap of the weekend in the last lap, and if I hadn't done that, then Chris would have got me on the finish.
Now, just for people watching this for the first time, it wasn't so much that Chris was massively quicker than you, but he's carrying less success ballast than you this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, well, I've accumulated ballast weight over the last 4 rounds, so that I'm actually now my legal minimum is 1159, and Chris's legal minimum is 1090. So there's a nearly 70 kilo difference, and I came in right 1 kilo underweight actually. So I've had a warning with regard to being underweight. But yeah, there was a I don't know what Chris weighed in at, but he would have been close to 1090, I would think. Yeah.
So overall, you'd be pretty stoked with that race win, given the circumstances where you are sitting in the championship and having effectively the weight of a passenger on board.
Yeah, that's a fair understatement, Richard.
So what happens next with the handicap? I mean, you're going to be up against it there, right?
Yeah, definitely up against it in the handicap, because I'll be well at the back, and I've traditionally struggled in the handicap races, trying to catch up with the front guys. Well, apart from the last one when Dunny beat me on the line, but yeah, I'm not expecting a great result in race 3. That last race was just made my weekend. It's been fantastic. Yeah,
and keeps you in the championship hunt, right?
Yeah, it keeps me in the lead actually. Yeah, up to now. It depends what happens in the next race, but I think I've got about 12 points on the second place, which is Chris. Yeah, at the moment. Yeah.
Best of luck for this afternoon. Mark, first win in the series. You've been in it for a couple of seasons, right? But that was a good win. Talk us through it.
Oh, it was a good start. Mike Hoft had a bit of a problem with his car, so I got to pass him early, and that really set me up. And then catching up Martin Dunn, who's been really quick in a straight line, super quick. So I had to find my way around him and managed to do that over the back here. And then after that was sort of taking on, clear air and taking on the M1 cars and stuff, and just finding my way through that, and very fortunate to, end up with the race win. So very happy with that.
So these handicap races are notoriously hard to win. Have you got a lot of experience around Puke that allowed you to make so many passes?
Oh, not a lot, but I enjoy fast track. and love holding on to it through the corner when it's bouncing around crazy on you. So that was a bit of fun. Yeah.
So, first of many wins?
Hope so. Yeah, absolutely. Hope so. Yeah, thanks, man.
Overall, it was Chris Hughes who took the round honours, while Matt Delamore took the N1 class honours for the weekend.
Chris, solid last race there in the handicap. Just talk us through briefly.
Yeah, so I had a 6-second deficit to make up to the group in front, so I was just a case of putting my head down and trying to punch in as quick a lap times as possible. I sort of had to wait until they started hitting traffic to start making some gains, and just towards the end there I managed to pick a few off, and I think I ended up 10th, so sort of 5 or 6 points there to add to the previous races, so not too bad.
Were you aware during the race that Greg had retired from it?
Yeah, basically having it right in front of me, so it looked like he had a left rear issue where the wheel was just about coming off, so yeah, I saw him down at the hairpin there having that issue, so yeah, they gave me a bit of a lift and pushed me on a bit more to try and catch the other guys with the championship in mind, but yeah.
So it was enough to secure the round win and obviously gets you a lot closer to Greg with 1 round to go. How'd you play it heading to that final round?
I think for me, with so many DNFs this season, it's every time I'm out there, it's 110%. So Taupo is going to be no different. I'll have 40 kgs of success ballast, but I'm just going to have to drive it as hard as I can and get as many points as I can every time I'm out there. So that's it for me. It's win every race, every race possible. So
great round win though. Well done. With Matt Delamore, winner of N1 this weekend. Matt, talk us through the weekend in summary, just your 3 races over yesterday and today.
So qualifying went real well, got P1 there. First race, rolling start, managed to grab it from start to finish, first place again. Reverse grid, started at the back of N1, managed to get through traffic pretty well in 2 laps. And just unfortunately that third race, I think I jumped the gun a little bit and gave myself a 15-second time penalty. But yeah, fantastic weekend. I'm absolutely stoked.
So first round win for you in terms of the M1 class?
Yeah, first time ever getting a round win. I've been on the podium getting third places, but finally good to be at the top there. So.
And the car is absolute minter. Tell us a little bit about the work that you've done into it.
So I bought the car after lockdown last year, and when I bought it, it was an absolute nugget. And the game plan was to strip it right back and just tidy everything up, rebush the whole car, suspension, brakes, and just tidy it up and try and make it a competitive car. So, yeah, the new motor, everything's been rebuilt in it.
So first win of many?
Hopefully. we'll get there. Yeah. No, cheers, guys. Thank you.
Here's the point situation heading into the final round of the Motul Honda Cup. Sparks' lead has shrunk to just 5 points as Chris Hughes leaps into second place. His brother, Steve, drops to third place, but still within striking distance of the lead. Then it's Mike Hoff Jr. in fourth, Andy Johnston fifth, Martin Dunn sixth, Jason Wheel seventh, Mark Alley eighth, Shane Hine ninth, and Jamie Wiggins in 10th. Over in the M1 class, it's Shane Hine who leads the way with a sizable gap to second place David Harker. Matt Delamore sits in third with Jason Wheel fourth and Rudy Kronstrom in fifth. Then it's Mike Hoff Sr., Jared Cruz and Steve Pound who round out the standings. The Motul Honda Cup will be back in action again at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park on April 16 to 18 for their final round of the season. We'll see you there.